Hello, I'm Dalton DeLan. I'm a columnist for the Berkshire Eagle, and this is Eagle Reels, where we take you beyond the news. My special guest today, musician Bettye LaVette. Welcome, Bettye.
Hi, Dalton. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. Well, let's start with your appearance on Friday, May 16th at the Mahaiwe. Now, this is an interesting double bill. I think you've covered about every genre there is in music. And you've got Madeleine Peyroux on the bill, a real jazz great. Tell us about that. It seems to me it completes the musical genres. Is there a duet in there?
We do a little thing together at the end, but it's just something that they put together. I didn't have anything to do with it, but I was pleased that she was interested in it, and it's been fun. The gigs we've done thus far. She is a really fun person to be with.
Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to cover some of the other fun people you've been with. Now, I'm something of an expert on interpretations of Bob Dylan. I think I possess thousands of them. And yet, in the upper echelon, rising to the very top, is your Things Have Changed album. And I know sometime before that, you also covered his wonderful song Most of the Time for an Amnesty International disc. So was that your inspiration? What got you into doing Bob Dylan? Did you meet him?
Okay, those are three different questions.
Okay. Any one of them you like.
Three totally different questions. Um, I'm not particularly interested in any particular person. That was what came up, and there's no reason to say no to great lyrics. I'm a song stylist, so if you can write a great lyric, I probably am interested in what you write. The Bob Dylan album came up because I had the opportunity to be with Universal, which is something I always wanted to do. And I've just about sung everything I wanted to sing. There's still some things I want to do, and that was one of them. And to work with Steve Jordan and the Ambient Artists and the gang. So it was just an ideal musical thing to want to do. You know, it was kind of a dream thing to do. You knew that all the lyrics were going to be solid, even whether you understood them or not. I had that challenge though because I don't sing anything I don't understand. So I had to go through all of his songs to find melodies and things that made sense to me and things I wanted to say.
Well, you did, and you acquitted yourself beautifully, I have to say. Uh,
Thank you. Well,
so
from a Dylan expert, I'm
it's
especially
true.
grateful. Thank
It's,
you.
it's true. Now, we'll talk about some of the other greats. I was very privileged late in her career, but under the Obama administration, to work several times with Aretha Franklin. You go back, I think, to like 1962 or so with her, I assume in Detroit. Were
Mhm.
you one of those Motown neighborhood kids, or how did that come about?
Well, we came from the same neighborhood. How did what come about?
Just knowing Aretha, and was it?
Oh, well, I mean, in Detroit in 1962 was not that far out of segregation, and most blacks did know each other. And if you, whatever group you were in, you knew everybody in that group. The Baptist church being so akin to black music, everybody knew Aretha. That was nothing to do.
Yeah. Well, now you did not grow up Baptist, I don't believe, and nor come up in that in church gospel the way Mavis and Aretha did, right? Your
Right.
folks had you singing, I think, at home. Can you tell us a little about that? And did they support
Well,
your
I'm from Muskegon, Michigan. That's in Western Michigan. Um, much more segregated in 1946, 47 than Detroit was. But all of my family came from Louisiana and they settled in Michigan. So I had a relative working in every General Motors establishment in the state of Michigan. I am a General Motors baby. But my family, the people that they worked with, also bought corn liquor at our house. My mother made fish and chicken sandwiches, and there was a jukebox, and you couldn't hang there. But as I said, everybody worked. When they got finished working, they came there because they certainly couldn't go anywhere else in Muskegon, Michigan at 1946 if you were Black. So they came to my house and they just to the jukebox, and on the weekends they would dance and say that late during the week. And you could only come in with a known girlfriend or a wife. No one could cuss but my mother, and she did so proficiently, and she taught me well. But so I came up a little different, and while my family is from Louisiana, so certainly I was raised Catholic. There are a lot of Baptists in Louisiana.
Indeed. Well, now you were, I think, 16 years old when you did your first recording, and then you toured with Otis Redding, with Benny King, Clyde McPhatter. What was that like? And you were young, and these were some of the greats.
Well, it was like a young high school boy who wanted to play basketball touring with the Pistons. I mean, of course, Otis Redding and I were in the same situation. No more people knew him at the time than knew me. But Clyde McPhatter and Benny King, these were people who had been on the jukebox at the house. So I had certainly grown all the way up with them. And it was just if whatever you wanted to do, if as a writer, if you had the opportunity to go on the road with the greatest writers in the world at 16, it's just like that.
Betty, I believe you're married to a musician. I think Kevin is. And if I'm correct about that, does that mean you can never get away from music or you get to come home and he understands it? Which is it?
No, with Kevin, it means you cannot um, ever get away from it because, well, if he was a practicing musician, I would never have married him. I would never marry anyone in this business. But he is an antique glass dealer and record historian and collector, but he can play keyboards, harmonica, guitar, and he can sing. And I just married him to get him out of circulation.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm gonna take us back again to the Obama thread. Okay, you performed at the inaugural celebration. You did a duet with John Bon Jovi, right, on Sam Cooke's "Immortal: A Change Is Gonna Come." Right? What was that like? I know it was a cold day.
That's the most memorable thing about it. And standing there with the first Black president, it was, quite a thrilling thing and quite an unexpected thing. I was uh, that and the Kennedy Center honors and bubbling brown sugar are the most exciting things that have ever happened to me in my 63-year career.
That's wonderful. Now you as we just said, you were there at the inauguration, and it seemed that a change was going to come, and it did come. But now we seem to have a different kind of change. And now I know historians will say progress is not a straight line. Any thoughts you can share with us? I'm not going to make you be political, but there must be some feeling there. I know I have, and others have who worked with the Obama administration in any way. Any feeling about
Oh, well,
today?
I absolutely, I mean, I adored them. I adored their work ethic. I adored them. I was just so honored and so flattered to be there. And now, as this administration goes, I'm unflattered, frightened, and horrified. I'm not a historian, but if Mother Ernesta in grade school had known I was going to love history the way I have turned out loving it, she would have given me the A that she didn't give me. but I, uh, but I, just knowing what I know about history now because it's become a passion of mine, I'm very, very frightened. This does not look or feel right or comfortable at all. If my taxes were lowered to like zero, it's still, this doesn't feel right.
Bettye, you mentioned the Kennedy Center, so I have to bring it up. I was there last week. I did shows with them for 20 years, but when I was there, post what's occurred, the president becoming chairman, all that, and I was really conflicted, and I wondered, the artist position. Would you say,
I
again,
was just I
honest?
was just offered a gig there that I regretfully had to turn down. Well, not regretfully, I just regret the circumstances are like they are. But I would not want to perform there under these circumstances. But when I was there, I was so glad that I was there when I was there. And it's just, as I said, one of the highlights of my life.
Thank you. Well, I remember you on your album, you did Political World with Keith Richards there on guitar, and we are in a political world, right? But maybe, as Dylan would say,
Absolutely,
times will change
absolutely.
again, right?
I hope we can crawl our way out of this, but it's very scary. And the unfortunately, the less white you are, the
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
the less white and the less to the right you are. It's very, I don't know what will happen. You used to be able to say, yeah, I'm this or that, and I know this isn't going to happen, and that's not going to, but you can't, we cannot do that now. We really don't even know what's going to happen. I mean, and that's
Well,
scary. I mean, that's like going into surgery or something. You don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing that scares you most.
well, thank you. I'm a believer that music and artists are one thing that can remind us of what's true and what we care about. And I'll ask you then, as a last thing, anything that will, of course, I don't want to kill the surprise, but anything the audiences should expect on May 16th at the Mahaiwe. Give us any sense of the
Oh,
show.
I try to at this point, all the shows that I do, because I've been recording for 63 years, and for the first 25 or 30, maybe nobody even got a chance to see me. The few people that were behind my records didn't see me. Some of them have come up to me, they're my age, they're saying, like, the first time I heard you, I was 17. This is the first time I ever got a chance to see you. So I try to put some of everything in my show from the beginning to now. If it's just one tune out of every 5 years or something.
Well, we're
But
all
I'm
so
having
glad.
fun though doing the solo thing or the duet thing. It's allowing me the opportunity to show people the kind of lyrics I choose, and I choose them because I'm a song stylist and interpreter. So I couldn't just look in your face and say something that didn't make sense. So this set, the whole set, is more about the lyrics of the songs that I choose than anything else.
Well, Bettye LaVette, I am going to hope with you, okay, that one of these days it might be take a couple years, but I hope I'll see you again on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. What do you say?
Oh, baby, thank you. Thank you. Are you coming to the performance?
I hope to. I
Well,
hope
please
to.
introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Viewers, I hope you've appreciated this very special conversation. Bettye LaVette, thank you for taking the time to be with us during your tour.
Dalton, thank you for taking your time as well. And thank you to all of your listeners, viewers, whatever they are now.
We'll
Punchers,
see.
listeners, viewers.
That's right. Whatever they are, we'll take them. Okay, artists need them, and artist venues need them. Viewers, I hope you've
I'm looking
enjoyed
forward
this.
to meeting you.
If you're already subscribers to the Berkshire Eagle, thank you. If you're not yet, please consider becoming one. It's how we have these sorts of conversations, and it's how we keep the flame of local journalism and musical artistry alive in America. I'll see you next time on Eagle Reels and the pages of the Berkshire Eagle. Thanks.